So in this video we are going to understand pattern programs on what space management. Okay, so how we are going to do this one, let us understand here. Let us consider one pattern like print 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. If you observe carefully, there are some spaces before this pattern. So this is a space bit before the pattern. Let me write this one into rows and columns. Let's see here. This is what rows and columns. See here, this is what rows and columns. Like this, I am going to convert into rows and columns. Observe carefully what is happening. This is what happening. Okay. And the number of rows is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I. And this is what columns. Okay. The columns is also there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is what J. Okay. This is what we called as J. Right. And what you observe from this particular thing here, it is, you observe carefully, there are some spaces. See, 1, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces. If you consider first row, okay, first row, in the first row, what is happening? There are what 4 spaces are there. In the second row, there are 3 spaces are there. In the third row, there are what 2 spaces are there. And there is in the fourth row there are what 3 space 4 3 to 1 space is present. Okay, then in the fifth row, if you observe carefully, there are no spaces, that is 0 spaces are present. Okay, so what is happening here, it is the number of spaces are decrementing by 1. Okay, so how to manage these particular spaces before the pattern, that is what now I am going to explain. Okay, but observe carefully, the spaces are decrementing by 1. Okay, so first of all let me show you how to print 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 4. This particular patterns I have already explained in the last video. Okay, but once again let me show the program. So this is a program, actually this is the program, right? I is equal to 1, I is less than is equal to 5, I plus plus. Okay, next this is another for loop, j is equal to 1, j is less than is equal to I, j plus plus, and we print the j. So when I run the program, this is the output that I got. See, this is the output I got. But now I want to manage some spaces before this particular thing. Okay, before this one, okay, I want to manage some spaces. For this, what I need to do is I am going to use what space logic. Let's say L is a variable that I am going to use for spaces. Okay, so before the pattern, before these digits, I have to print the spaces. Therefore, before this particular thing, I am going to use the space logic. Okay, this is what I mean to space for loop. Okay, space for loop. Okay, so for I say L is equal to 1, L is less than is equal to how many spaces, please? How many spaces? The maximum number of spaces that if you consider, okay, if you consider 4 3 2 1 0 spaces, so the number of spaces is 4. Okay, maximum spaces is 4. Therefore I will take a variable like a space variable is equal to 4. Okay, so L is equal to 1, the maximum spaces is space, okay, 4 and L plus plus. And this for loop I am going to say sys out. See, I am going to print the space now. So showing the intelligence, yeah, there is a space I am printing, that's it. Just you give a space bar, therefore it is going to give the space. So first of all, space is equal to 4, therefore this loop runs for 4 times and it will print 4 spaces. In the next row, in the next row, the spaces should be decremented 3. Okay, it should become 3. So how it become 3 means space minus minus. Space minus minus will decrement. Always decrement the space. So up to here, the space logic is there. This is the space logic we have completed. Okay, right? So like this, every time for every row, okay, the spaces are decrementing by 1. So this for loop print the spaces and it decrements by 1. Means, for example, first time 4 means 4 spaces it will print. Then spaces minus minus becomes 3. Next one, 3 space it will print, because space is equal to 3, isn't it? 3 spaces it will print. Then space becomes what? 2. Then again 2 spaces it will print. Like that it is going to work. So before printing these particular digits, we are now applying the spaces. This is what we call as space logic. Okay, now let me run the program and see what is happening. See, So it's taking some time for running. Okay, sorry. This is, yeah, please don't give this println, just give print, because we want to print on the same line only. Okay, so therefore let me run the program once again. Yeah, now you can see this is what you are getting. Okay, so here there are 4 spaces, there are 3 spaces, 2 spaces, 1 space, 0 space. Okay, so I can also give here more spaces, please. I can give you 20 spaces also, no problem. You can take any number of spaces in the first row, but from the second row onwards, the number of spaces should be decremented by 1. So like this, if you increase the spaces, this pattern will move to the right side. Like this, will get lot of space. That's it. But the pattern you are going to get. Like this, you can manage the spaces according to your requirement. Okay, fine. So this is the program. Let me copy paste this particular thing. Okay, here I am going to paste the first program. The first program I am going to write here. Right, this is the first program. And this particular pattern also I am going to paste it. Control print screen. Yeah, this is what the pattern that I am going to put here. Right. This is the first program that we have understood, please. Now we are going to work with what? Second pattern, right? Let me show you the second pattern, please. Okay, understand carefully. Now I am going to erase this one. I am going to draw the second pattern. The second pattern is like this. Print, what we do is 1, 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is what the pattern we have to print. Means pyramid, like a triangle. Okay, like triangle, like pyramid we have to print. Okay, so how you print this particular thing, right? This is actually the same program. The previous program, this one is very same. See, the spaces are what? No space, 1 space, 2 spaces, here it is 3 spaces, here it is what? 4 spaces. So the space logic is very same. The difference is, before the digit you are printing a space, before the digit you are printing a space, before the digit you are printing a space. Like this, you are printing a space before the digit. That is what we have to do here. So the same program, in the same program, what we are going to do, before the digit you give 1 space. Like this, you give a space. That's it. Fine. Now this is going to give the output. See, this is now the same pattern is now changing here. This is a simple logic that you have to remember. See, like a pyramid, you got it or not? So this is how you are going to manage the space before the digit, right? So let me copy this particular pattern, right? This is the pattern for which I am now copying the program. So this is the second program. Control V. Okay, paste it. Now I get back to this particular program. Control A, Control C. So I have understood, very simple. It's very simple. Just you have to maintain a space. That's it. Okay. So let me copy paste the program. Now we'll go with the second program. Okay. The third program. Sorry, third program we are now going to work with. So what is another pattern that I am going to work with? Let me show you first of all. Right. Now let us say that, okay, erase. Now I am going to say that print stars. I want to print. Okay, see, I want to print stars like this. 1, okay, 3 stars. This is what 5 stars. This is what